We're solving inequalities by multiplication and division. I can solve one-step inequality problems by using multiplication, and division are our learning targets. And we have one special rule. Right? We can go ahead and take an inequality, isolate the variable y by dividing by the coefficient, the number in front of the y. However, if the coefficient is negative, and we are dividing both sides of the inequality by a negative number, the inequality sign switches. So it's no longer less than, it will switch to greater than. That's our special rule. So let's go ahead and solve this problem here. In order to isolate the variable y, we are going to divide both sides of the equal sign by negative 15. That's going to give us on the left side of the equal sign a positive y, and on the right side of the equal sign, let's go ahead and put that in a calculator just to make sure I don't make a mistake here. It's going to be greater than negative 9. Now, 135 divided by negative 15 is negative 9. However, since we're dividing the inequality by a negative number, the inequality switches signs. It goes from being less than to becoming greater than. And so now we're going to graph this inequality, and we are going to use a unfilled circle. Since this solution does not include negative 9, we're going to label that center as negative 9, negative 10 to the left, and negative 8 to the right. And since y is greater than negative 9, our arrow is going to move to the right. Let's go ahead and solve the next problem by multiplying. Now for multiplying, we have a special rule. When you multiply both sides of an inequality by a negative number, the inequality switches. Alright, so in this case, we want the coefficient of the term with the y to have a positive 1 in front of it. And the way that we can make that happen is that we multiply by the reciprocal of this fraction. And what is the reciprocal? It's where you switch the numerator and the denominator. So let's go ahead and do that. It's going to be the reciprocal, negative 4 over 3, times negative 3 over 4y is less than negative 4 over 3 times 24. Now if we multiply a fraction by its reciprocal, the resulting number is 1. So here we have a positive 1y. And now the sign, the inequality switches from being less than to being greater than. And why? Because we multiplied both sides of the inequality by a negative number. And the key word here is negative. If you multiply both sides of an inequality by a positive number, the sign does not switch, only with a negative number. So here we're going to have negative 96 over 3, and we can reduce this fraction to y is greater than negative 32. So I'm going to go ahead and represent this inequality on the graph. I'm going to use the unfilled bubble because we have y is greater than negative 32, which means the solution set does not include negative 32. I'm going to label my center point negative 32, and I'll have a negative 33 to the left and a negative 31 to the right. Now since y is greater than negative 32, my arrow is going to move off to the right.